Hi, I want to take a few minutes to review the syllabus because I know there's a lot of information contained in these, so I wanted to point out some of the highlights. This is an asynchronous fully online course, and asynchronous means that you're working on modules on the computer. We don't have a set class time. The content is delivered through Canvas, and we do have weekly voluntary meetings, which are my office hours, which will be decided during the orientation week when you complete the when to meet poll. So you can see on the syllabus, my contact information is listed here. Our class is not meeting on campus at all, so I think most of these COVID regulations do not so much apply to us directly related to this course. So the course description is, this course provides students with a series of modules on quantitative and qualitative research techniques, and it's going to be aimed at helping you develop an action research project. During this semester, you're going to be planning your project. You're going to be ultimately creating a research plan or proposal for your project. And in next semester, you'll be actually revising that plan and then gathering the data and completing the action research project. You should be normally taking CI 240, the social justice course, in conjunction with this course. You're usually expected to spend 2 hours of study time outside of class for every 1 hour in class. So it's a 3-unit class, so you are expected to spend about 9 hours a week completing this course. This was covered in the orientation modules, the technical skills required. Here is a definition of asynchronous learning. This is a virtual asynchronous course. So again, your activities are through recorded lectures, independent work, and we don't have mandatory scheduled meetings. The course materials are listed here. Let me make this a little easier to see. But the first one is the Johnson and Christensen Educational Research Textbook. The newest volume is volume 7. If you find volume 6, that is acceptable as well. There's not, I didn't notice any real difference between the two editions. So if you get a good deal on number 6, I can't speak to the editions prior to 6. The second required book is the Mertler Action Research Book. These are all available on Amazon. They have, I think the Mertler book only comes in a hard copy, but the other textbook, there's a lot of online types of viewing choices. I will suggest that last year I taught ERE 243, and then the subsequent class to that is CI 245, and in the spring, and I use these same textbooks for both courses. And so that's a year of use. So you may consider that if you are thinking about renting the textbook. That might help you make your mind up. And then finally, an optional resource is the new APA publication manual. If you like to have this at your fingertips, it's a great thing to go back and reference. You're going to be asked to write using the APA style in your entire graduate program. So I think for $20, it's a good investment. However, there are online resources that are sufficient to helping you navigate APA. But again, if you like to have a comprehensive resource, this is a good option. So the course goal is, the big course goal is to develop your knowledge and your skills around using quantitative and qualitative methods to help in classroom-based problems. And so we're going to learn about what is research, how to search the literature and understand the research. We're going to learn about quantitative and qualitative and mixed methods and what those are and what they look like. We're going to learn about different methods of data collection, including using tests and student data that you regularly gather, using observations, questionnaires and surveys, or interviews. So we're going to cover a lot of different things. We're going to even talk a little bit about the data analysis components too, but those will be covered more next semester. So some of the main knowledge and skills we want you to get out of this course is that you're going to have to be able to formulate a relevant research question. And this is going to have to be something that addresses a classroom-based social justice issue. And So it has to be really practical to you and what you are doing in your own classroom, because you're going to ultimately be gathering data around that. So you need to have access to that data, and it needs to be relevant to your experience. You're going to learn to critically analyze published research. That's going to be one of the things that we do in the first couple of modules, is to really get you understanding how to identify research and give you the skills that you need to be successful in that. You're going to design a research for action. And again, that's going to be looking at something within your own practice, your own classroom, where you want to gather data and understand the changes that are happening and how you can make improvements. You're going to continue to learn about research-based inquiry practices. We're going to work on clearly communicating our results in the end. And technology is going to obviously be an aspect of this course. And finally, praxis to promote social justice. We're going to actually be applying these research skills into improving something in your own classroom, in your own practice. If you could take a minute and read through the Kremen School dispositions, you can pause the video now to do that. And then I'll talk a little bit about the course organization. The course is organized in 15 weekly modules, and the topics are listed here. And the topics really follow the inquiry and the action research process. So we're going to go through everything really step by step. All of your modules are going to be in Canvas, and that's where you're going to be doing your work. You do need to complete all of the each module has some assignments, participation included in, and those all need to be completed before moving on to the next module. And completing each module is a requisite for the completion of this course. So we're going to have some Zoom sessions. Again, they are voluntary, but it will give you a chance to interact with your peers and talk with me and seek clarification and more information when you need it. Communication was covered in the orientation, but it happens a couple of ways. You can use the ask and answer forum in the discussion area of the course, or you can email me using the inbox. The course is broken into a few major assignments and class participation. The first major assignment is going to be a quantitative data gathering techniques paper. The second one is going to be the qualitative data gathering techniques paper. Then you're going to compose your action research plan, and that's going to be a big part of what you work on in this course. There's also a literature review, which is where you're going to take a survey of the literature around your topic and really understand what does that body of literature say about your topic. This is how we identify best practices and look at what really works. And then finally, class participation are the individual activities contained within each module. So you can see a breakdown of the points here. So there are 15 weekly modules. We're going to begin each module on a Monday, and all assignments for that module are going to be due on Sunday at midnight, or 11:59 to be exact. So some of these points may be adjusted. Sometimes I notice in our course if we are having struggles in a certain area, or if we want to address something more, then I can modify our existing schedule and our topics to reflect your learning. So even though I have an overall outline of the course for the whole semester, there are times that I might stop and make adjustments based on what I see as your needs or our future learning. The last day to submit assignments is December 22nd, which is the last day of the semester. All of your assignments are going to be typed. We're going to be learning about APA format, and you're going to be using it as we learn about it. So I'm going to be looking for you to be complying with APA format. And that was the book that I mentioned that was optional that you can purchase. In general, I have this clause in my syllabus that says that I deduct points for late assignments and that I reserve the right to accept or not accept points. But the fact of the matter is I generally do not deduct points for late work. I really just want you to turn the work in, but this kind of protects me from getting all of the assignments for an entire semester at the very end. So again, as far as course completion, the online modules are mandatory, and you have to complete all of those short assignments within in order to complete the course. One more time, about 9 hours a week is what you can expect. Some might be more and some might be less. You can pause and read over the very standard grading scale that I have. Some reminders is that you are expected to conduct yourself just as you would on campus, and that use of the information in my course would need my permission. They are subject to the copyright laws. Plagiarism is something that we will be talking about as we get into our modules, but we're going to teach you how to properly cite your sources, and we're going to talk about how to paraphrase to avoid plagiarism. We will be running our reports through the Turnitin plagiarism detection, and so you want to make sure that you are paraphrasing and not directly copying, and also citing when you are using someone else's ideas. And again, we'll cover that later. Here is the name of our department chair if you have any questions that I am not able to resolve for you. Some of the policies and links. If you have any needs in this course, whether you are an identified student with disabilities or not, I want you to please contact me so that I can help adjust and improve to maximize your learning experience. So please don't hesitate. There are all of the usual links for the different university policies, which you should click on and read, and also university services. I have another video coming up about the tentative course schedule. And then of course, these things can change at any time. So I will always let you know if that's the case.